fashion line. Help me lose 150 pounds and it wasn't that hard. But it makes your pants fall off the line, it makes you lean. All the fats and healthy low-carb fats, they switch to margarine. But I tell you folks, this ain't no joke, 'cause you're from what I've seen. But it makes your pants fall off the line, sugars make you lean. I know that this sounds crazy and it goes against the grain, but what the scientists tell you and what your doctor's saying. But fat food ain't the problem, so let me just explain, and I'll help you lose your fat and ease your pain. You see, some of us, we just get fat, others, they stay thin. But fat foods ain't the problem, it's a thing called insulin. Insulin resistant, now that's what we fat folks are, and it comes from eating all the wrong sort of carbs.
Hello, folks. How's everybody doing tonight? Can you hear me? Let me know in the comments. Can anybody hear me out there in internet land? Yes, good. Okay. If somebody said Lena said we could hear you loud and clear. Hi, guys. How are y'all? I've had a very busy weekend. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm really looking forward to talking to everybody tonight. Hopefully we'll have a great time together. There's no restrictions on what, the topic would be tonight. So we'll just have fun. I do have a little something I'd like to say, but tell a little story before we get started tonight. So, and I've put the link out for anybody that wants to come in. So we're going to get started here just a second. Let a few people get in the room, and we'll see what happens. I know, dead silence. Isn't that great? That's the worst thing you could do when you're broadcasted, just be totally silent. But I want to give people a chance to get in because we were just a second or two early with the live stream. Folks, I'm really sorry I had to come an hour later tonight. Some people are saying they like it better, and maybe we'll do that. But I had a family event today, and I wouldn't have missed it for $1 million. So, and I'd like to have $1 million, but I'd rather have the family event than the $1 million. So this week, what I really want to kind of talk about right quick before we bring people up is, I released a little video this week. It's just a short little video called Stomp the Fire. And I'll tell you why I released it. I've been going through all my old videos. I've told you guys this before. And just looking at all the stuff that was done way back. And I happen to remember a little video that I made for myself. I've never really released it to the public, never will probably. I've released a little piece of it, in a video. And I called it, and I made this back in 2013. I called that video Remember the Future. It's kind of a strange title. But, this guy right here, when I first started on the diet, before I started on the diet, I was a pretty defeated guy. Let's just be honest. And so I had to do something. I had to do something to convince myself that I could do something better than I was doing. So I just made this little video to tell me what I could do. And I used a technique when I made that video that I call Remembering the Future. And I got it from one of my personal philosophy heroes, Viktor Frankl. And if you're familiar with Viktor Frankl, you'll know who I'm talking about. But if you're not, he wrote a little book way back, maybe right after World War II, called Man's Search for Meaning. And when I was in college, I took an elective course, a philosophy course, because that's what I like to, one of the topics I really like, guys. So I took the selective, and the professor there, I still remember him, and I think he's maybe passed now, but Dr. Henry, he assigned this little bitty book called Man's Search for Meaning. And I thought, oh, I don't want to read this thing. And it turned out to be a book that I just loved. I've probably given away 30 or 40 copies. And now I don't even have a copy myself. I had to order a new copy because I've given them away so many times. But Dr. Frankl, he was actually in a concentration camp, in a Nazi concentration camp. Let me turn this little thing off here. Sorry, guys. He was in a Nazi concentration camp back in World War II, and it was really bad. I mean, folks, this was super, super bad. And he's surrounded by death, cold, and hunger, and lice, and it was so bad. His wife was taken from him. The man suffered, but he was a writer and a very intelligent person before the war, and he had written a book. And of course, they took it away from me, threw it away. But how this man, one of the reasons why this man survived the war, survived that camp, is that he did this little thing that he didn't really call it that, but I did. He remembered the future. So in order to get through that time in that camp, he looked at the camp as if he was remembering the experience and writing it down to help someone else survive bad, terrible circumstances. So he was looking at, he was remembering, oh yeah, I remember that time when I went through this. I remember that time I went through that. That's how I got through that. And he came up with the idea that you can actually face a lot of things in life. And if you find a way to reframe it, it can help you. Now, that sounds like a lot of hoo-ha, a lot of new age slop, but folks, reframing your ideas is almost important as the diet. And I'll tell you why. And it's almost as important as fasting. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that. Because until you can reframe your mind to think that you can be successful, and this is not just about the diet, but about anything, you cannot, you won't take that next step, But if you reframe it, you can. And so I did this little technique back in 2013. Nobody knew about it. I was all alone. It's bad. But I did this, and I spoke into this little tape recorder, made a little video about it, saying, okay, I remember when people used to say I was fat. But boy, look at you now. I remember when I was broke. I remember when I was had very few friends. I remember these things as if they were something in the past and something had changed. And I also said, this sounds very guru-ish or a very very new agey. Okay. So, but this is not what this is about. This is about reframing your brain so that you can see the world a little different. And I'll tell you something, and this might offend some people out there in the audience. We don't, Ben Shapiro, he says, facts don't care about your feelings. But Ben Shapiro is wrong, actually. Your feelings don't care about facts. I'm sorry, folks. They don't care about the facts. If you have a certain mindset, you can't see the facts of life. You can't see them. They're out there, they're real, but you're not absorbing them into your mind. You're not integrating them into what you see. So when you direct your mind through whatever technique that you can, you will be able to see things that you can't see when you're in the wrong mindset. It literally changes you. And that's why I said in that little video, Stomp the Fire, if you change your mind, or if you can wake yourself up from the spell you're under, and the spell might be, I'm always going to be fat, or I've tried this and it doesn't work, or, no one loves me, or, I can't be successful at whatever thing that I do. You've got to break that. And you can break it with a simple technique, remembering, and it changes the way you see the world. It changes the way you see everything. Because I hate to say it, like Plato, 2,500 years ago, in the Republic, famous Republic, he was telling about the cave. The people were sitting in a dark cave, and they were imagining things that were happening. We do this, folks. We imagine things that are not factual. And it can really hurt us if we're imagining the wrong things. I mean, it really can. So that's what that little video is about. And I'll tell you something before I go any further, and then I'll invite my guests in. Back in 2014, 2015, 2016, when I was on the channel years ago, I was very conscious to try to be the person people wanted me to be. This time, that's not going to happen. I'm going to be who I really am. And I want people to know who I really am, and I want to help them in the only way that I know how is as me, just me. So, I might offend some people. When I was first starting my business, my local business here in the real world, this very wealthy older man came in one day and he said, "Bob," he said, "let me tell you a little something about business." And I said, "All right, yeah, tell me," because he's been very, very successful. He said, "Bob, one of the most important jobs that you can do when you start a business is you got to fire some of your customers." I said, "What? No, I need the customers. I don't want to fire any customer." He said, "No." He said, one of the most important things a business person can do is fire customers that are not appropriate for your business or are not seeing what you're trying to do, or not getting along with this. That sounds so backwards, but I found him to be true, because you want to attract the people that want the thing that you're doing. You want them to come and shop with you. But if you're always catering to the people who do not, they want to change your business in some way, what you're doing is you're changing your business to cater the minority. You're not changing your business to benefit the business. So I don't want to run anybody off. I want all the people that love this channel to stay, but I want you to be known that I'm going to try to be Bob. That's who I am. And I'm 10 years older, and I don't know if I'm 10 years wiser. I'm 10 years fatter, but but anyway, that's what I wanted to say tonight, folks. I want you to know that there's more to life than just the facts. The facts. Really and truly, the facts are out there, but we don't live in fact land. We live in what we think land. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you that. I mean, that doesn't change the facts being real or not real, but we don't even have access to the facts, to be honest with you. Maybe you've heard online, Scott Adams, that used to be online a lot. He's passed away now. Excuse me. He had this thing, 2 movies on one screen. In other words, 2 people can watch the same video and they'll come up with a different idea of what was happening in that video. And they see these things. They have these differences because they came to the video with a different mindset. 2 people had a different mindset. They saw the exact same video, and yet they see 2 different things. You see people in accidents. They'll describe the accident different. We see things through the filter of who we are already. But the good thing is, folks, is you can change your filters. You can change it. You can say, yeah, I can see myself as a more successful person. I can see myself as a thinner person. And believe me, that will change what you actually see. It doesn't change the world. It's not magic. It's just a way to reframe your brain so that you can see the appropriate facts. Okay, folks, I'm going to shut up, and I'm rambling on. And invite my guests in. I'm just going to invite everybody in. We'll see what happens. All right. I hope everybody's ready, because here you come. Boom, boom, boom. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Am I too loud? I seem like I might be a little loud. Am I loud?
No, you're
Not
just
here.
fine.
Okay, good.
Sounds good.
Good. Y'all had a good week?
Yeah, we did.
I've missed everything that you've done this week, Mitch, because I have been, and it's going to be that way, by the way, folks. For the next probably 2 months, I'm going to be very busy, but I'm going to still, do the things for the channel. But I'm going to be dragging my fat butt home at night when I get done. Go ahead. Anybody wants to speak? Speak.
Here, I thought you didn't love me anymore.
No, I still love you, man.
Okay.
I still love you.
All right. I've been saying on my live streams, where's Bob? Anybody seen Bob?
I'm just busy. Busy.
I know. Just
I'll try to get in more this week.
No, that's okay. We don't need you. We don't even like you.
Well, I might as well just end the stream right now. Be done with it. Yeah, it's been busy this week, but I mean that's good. I'm very glad. Lewis, what do you like to say today?
I'm just happy to be here. I know I missed last week's conversation, but just wanted to come support and see who also is going to be joining us today.
Yeah,
that's it. It was a pretty good week.
Whoever will may come. Yeah,
today tonight. I know Mitch is not a fan of daylight savings time, but today was near 70 degrees and it was very nice. So it was a good day today. In New York City. I'm not asking you to
reveal your location, but
I live in New York. I live in New York City. New
York, yeah. Well, it was a little chilly here in Tennessee, but it's been very warm all week. I mean, unseasonable. I mean, hot actually. Mm-hmm. Very hot. But today was not that way.
Somebody said my mic was very low. Yeah, I can.
It's a little
your
low,
audio's low.
Yeah, you're a little low, Mitch.
Wow, I don't know what happened. All right. I'll try to fix it. I was on this morning with Cristi and it was fine. So it's a setting in Windows, evidently. When I go into somebody else's stream, it's a different browser setup. So bear with me. I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
Rick don't eat no duck food. How are you doing today?
Not bad. I mean, other than being busy, I've been on like 2 or 3 live streams and working outside. I was trying to put some fuel in my van. I got to pick up some vegetable oil tomorrow, so I want to make sure I had plenty of homemade diesel in the tank of the van.
Oh, vegetable oil. I thought you're surely not going to eat any vegetable oil.
Well, I don't eat it. To me, oil is a lubricant and a fuel. It's for machines, not for people.
Very good. Cristi, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm doing great. It's very nice to meet you. I think everyone else on the screen I know already, except I'm not sure if I've met you in person yet, Mitch, but I definitely watch you all the time. I'm doing great. I'm a teacher here out on the West Coast in California.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a while since I've been on a live stream, but when I saw you were back, Bob, I had to jump in.
Thank you. It's a little early in California, isn't it? What is it, about 5?
Yeah, 5.
Well, that's not too bad. Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah. Does anybody have an opinion about this later time, which I was forced into, but is it better or worse for people?
It's better for me. I got more work done.
It's better.
How's this? So am I better now?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What a troubleshooter. For me, Bob, it doesn't matter. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Oh, okay. I'll sit back then. I won't yell. Yeah, it's fine for me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what it is, Bob? There's so many live streams on, especially on the weekends.
Yeah.
That I think 8 o'clock. I don't think right, Rick. Is anything going on at 8 o'clock? I think
not that I know of.
Then, right?
Might be better.
Yeah, it might be better. I don't know. But
I don't know about.
But
I don't know about
you can't worry about that because there's only so many prime time hours in the day. So don't.
Well, I have interest outside the diet world, and some of the people that I watch online, they do live stream. And I have very rarely am I able to watch them live. But I watch them on repeat nonstop. I'll be listening to them while I'm working. So it's okay if people can't come. It gives them something to listen to later. So that's good. Cristi, did you're coming on for the first time? Did you have anything that you would like to share with the whole entire world?
Well, Cristi's not a stranger to the internet. She had her own. She was on YouTube a lot. And she has her own
Heart Attack Chicken.
A great channel.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, Lewis. Yes, I've had my channel for a couple years. I've been carnivore for 3 years. And then my son transitioned to carnivore 2 years ago, so a year after watching me. And so that's kind of what I made my channel about. I've just sort of taken a little break from YouTube for the last 3 to 4 months or so. And I'm
Watch
just
out, you'll be 10 years.
Yeah.
not 10 years like you. No. Not
Me,
at all.
10 years.
Just a few months. But yeah, I just thought it was time for me to jump back in and reconnect with the community a little bit.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do different this time. I'm trying to do things different by being a little bit more connected, which I was last time, but I don't know. I was connected to my fans back in those days, but and I still want to be, but I didn't have the ability to really enjoy other people's company and just talk, because if you run a channel, Mitch knows, and all y'all know, take some heat sometimes. People just don't know. People don't know it. Even from people that you thought were, your friends. Your online friends. You take some heat. But that's all right. It's part of it. I'm a different person I was 10 years ago, so I can take it much better now than I could back then.
All right, Bob.
Yeah,
How does my audio sound now?
it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds
Not
good.
too loud? Okay, because I saw some comments where somebody said worse, and I'm going, oh my God, what am I doing? It's all
Yeah,
right
it
now?
Sounds good. It
Yeah.
sounds good.
Sounds good to
Okay,
me.
Sounds
super.
good. Sounds
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
So, Mitch, I haven't been able to see your I think you've got 2 new videos. One was about coffee. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I got the
And
one
then
about
what was the
coffee and
other
one about,
I forgot.
pardon me?
What was the other one?
About blood pressure. Reading blood pressure properly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you want to share some of that with us, especially about coffee, because I'm not giving up coffee even if I die.
Well,
I'm just not going to do it.
you were talking in your monologue
Yeah,
about how we all see the same thing through different eyes and through different filters, and
100%.
well, that's true. I mean, something can happen out there in the world, and you can tune into CNN and hear their story, what happened. Then you tune into Fox News, and you think you're listening to a completely and totally different event. Yeah, so that's just normal human behavior. We hear what we want to hear through whatever filter we live, through our own agenda, and we come up. That's why the old thing about having a room full of people and passing a story from person to person to person, by the time it gets to the end of the room, it doesn't even resemble the original story, which is really why we can't trust too much of what's history. If we can't even get right what happened 2 weeks ago, how the hell are we going to get right what happened 2,000 years ago?
No one can. But, like the point that I'm making about that is when it comes to your own life, does it really matter? It doesn't. It doesn't matter which fact. Pick the facts that are going to help you to achieve your goals, to be a happier and more well-rounded person, because there's a million facts to choose from. A million. And you can't see them all and you can't understand them all. So why not pick the ones that are better for your survival?
Yeah.
That are going to make you happier, that are going to make your family happier. Because, you can spend all day trying to get the facts on everything.
Well, back to your question about, your question was about coffee.
Yeah,
And I took it off in it, but the reason I took it off in that direction was we all have our ideology about how much we enjoy coffee, or we don't like coffee, and whether you like it black or you like it with all kinds of sugar and foo-foo stuff in it. So, I've been drinking coffee ever since I can remember. It's part of my life. It's part of my morning ritual. I get to be a carnivore, and everybody tells me I'm killing myself. It's so bad for me, and of course, I don't want to believe that. Do not want to believe it. So I have been always looking for a reason that I can be comfortable with to justify, like you, Bob, I'm going to drink the coffee. I'm going to drink the coffee. What am I saving it for? I'm 79, almost 79 years old now. What am I saving it for if I can't have a cup of coffee in the morning? So, and a cigar now and then. So I keep doing research, and it keeps getting more and more split, and yet there's more and more science, more and more studies. It turns out you can have it either way you like it. Coffee has compounds in it which have proven in studies to be very beneficial. And even caffeine has proven to be very beneficial. It has the polyphenols in coffee seem to have great effect. And when I started looking at the effects of exogenous ketones or compounds that elevate ketones, of which medium chain triglyceride oil is one, it took me back to good old Dave Asprey and his books from way back talking about bulletproof coffee. Yeah. And that basically gives you a shot of ketones. And then they discovered through studies that if you do this against the advice to not drink caffeine first thing, like Andrew Huberman used to say, you wait a while before you drink your coffee. This new data is showing that the coffee early just supports the body's cortisol and natural wake-up signals and does you better. You mix the MCT oil with caffeine and it doubles the effectiveness of it, and do it first thing in the morning. So now I'm seeing this stuff. I saw a number of videos. The one that I referenced in my video is from a Dr. Becker, who is not even probably a real guy. It's probably an AI channel. But you know that just because a video is AI, it still works off a script. And that script might be absolutely right and contain great information, and they only use the AI to actually make the talking head and all that stuff. So I can't discount AI videos if the script is good and the information jives with what I've seen in other places. So I put that video up there because it was a great script. There's another doctor named London, and I put his video up there, and he was not AI. He was not AI. He was a real doctor. I hear some noise.
Let me get rid of the noise.
Yeah.
I'll mute you, Knuckles. All right.
Yep. So at any rate, that's what I did. So now I've got a real excuse. And if it's what you want to believe, like me, you can feel good about your decision. Drink the coffee. I love it. And I froth up that MCT oil, MCT powder, like creamer, and it makes it like a Starbucks drink. It has a great flavor, no sugar, but a good flavor, and I'm really enjoying it. And I really think it's helped. Hard to say. I've been doing it about 3 weeks now. They say it should take about a month before you notice it, but I really feel an increase in energy. So that's my video. Yeah. Thanks for plugging in. I appreciate that.
I'm going to go back and watch it. I really am. I like people to get provocative sometimes and go into the, because I heard a little snippet of you said, well, I might change my mind later. That's okay.
Yeah, well, that's true of everything. Yeah. You know, we never have the final authority, a word on anything. There's always new discoveries. We always learn that we're wrong, and we can't get married to anything. Yeah. We have to keep an open mind. So.
Yeah,
my story. So you can use me as an excuse, man. Drink your coffee, enjoy it, and say now, Mitch said it was all right, so I'm okay. You know.
This time around, I used to always have my heavy whipping cream and coffee, but I've kind of over the years gotten a little bit used to drinking coffee black, so I just drink it black. But I do miss my cream sometimes. But you know, I'm being very careful. I do have one question for the whole panel, because I like chewing gum. So I got this. I've heard that it was very good. It's called Pure. Oh, there it is.
Is that chewing gum?
Chewing gum, yeah.
Oh, I never heard of it.
You only have xylitol in it. It's supposed to be good. Somebody's got a lot of noise going on. Let's see who it is here. Well, mute them. Okay, can y'all still hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. If you're making noise tonight, you're getting muted until I come to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I totally forgot I had the
No problem. Hey, before I get to anybody else, I've been kind of talking to Jim here online a little bit, corresponding. Let me greet him in. Hello, Mr. Jim Crowe. Is that how you say it? Can you hear me? Jim?
Looks like your stream's frozen.
I think you're frozen, Jim. Try to come back, go out and come back in. Will that be the best thing? Jim, if you can hear me, I just posted the link again. Just go out and come back in. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Well, I'll go to you while we're waiting, Knuckles.
Oh, I was going to say, you guys were talking about coffee, and literally, I had to deal with some caffeine issues not even 2 days ago. When you're doing keto and you're doing carnivore, you have to be careful with the caffeine intake. I'm not saying don't drink it.
Yeah.
Drink all the coffee you want as long as your body is healthy. But when you're in ketosis, your body weeps a lot of extra water and a lot of extra minerals, and you will deplete magnesium very, very quickly. So if you're getting any kind of leg cramps, or if you're getting PVCs for your heart, which are premature ventricular contractions, go and get your cellular magnesium tested. Get an RBC magnesium test. It's like between $30 and $60. You need to make sure that your cellular magnesium is topped up. Do not just count on the serum magnesium, because that is literally 10% of the magnesium in your whole body is in your serum, which is pretty much just floating freely in your blood. What you need to do is make sure your red blood cell magnesium is good and topped up. And if you drink coffee and you're on keto, I guarantee you are going to be weeping a lot of magnesium. So if you do have the leg cramps or muscle twitches in your eye or any kind of weird twitches, get your magnesium checked and back off the coffee just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Let me comment on that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Knuckles. I can tell very easily if I get a leg cramp at night. I say, whoop, more magnesium. And I've been drinking caffeine mostly on, so I take a lot of magnesium. I put 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate in my electrolyte mix, which I consume during the day. I also take a 200 milligram magnesium citrate capsule at lunch, and I take 2 magnesium glycinate, about 350 milligrams, before I go to bed. And that is working great. But it's twice. I end up taking twice the USDA represented 400 milligrams a day. I'm up to more like 800 plus milligrams a day. And the leg cramps don't happen anymore.
I'm taking 4 grams of magnesium citrate a day, and I still get terrible leg cramps.
Man, you must spend a lot of time in the toilet with all that magnesium citrate. No, wow.
I am incredibly magnesium deficient, and that's why I'm saying you need to get your cellular magnesium checked.
You're absolutely right, and even if you don't get it checked, the leg cramps are such a great indication of it.
Yep.
You got a built-in gauge. You get a leg cramp, up the magnesium.
Yep, up your magnesium.
Yeah, I believe you.
I want to talk to Jim while we still got him. Jim, how are
you?
Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my God! Talk about teaching an old dog new tricks.
Huh?
What? So you talk about teaching an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us your story, Jim, if you want to.
Well, yeah, I'd love to. I've been trying to do this stuff for years. I've actually been flirting with Carnivore since, Ken Berry. I think I saw his first video, but I've never been able to just lock in and do it. And I don't know why or whatever. And I never did it long enough to do it. And, your videos were going, back when, and I started doing that stuff. I told everybody about it. I got all excited about your videos, told people, and they started losing weight and stuff. But I just didn't do it, and when you came back on, you just made it simple, and you're so real and everything. And I thought, if I don't do it now, I'm 60, almost 65. I'm about 400 pounds right now. I've been as heavy as 485, but got back down to 290 and went back up. So I've done the down and up and down and up and down and up. So
me too.
And
I'm 62. I'm 62 years old. Yeah. So we're pretty close to the same age. Yeah. But our generation, our little what is it, Gen X? Is that our generation? Yeah.
I think we're supposed to be something else.
We were probably more poisoned than any other generation in American history. And
You guys are on the cuff. That makes you ex-boomers.
Yeah.
You're after the boomers, I think.
Yeah, we're
right after the boomers.
We're boomers.
Yeah.
Up
Are
to
you boomers? I'm at
1960
the
up to 1964 is a boomer.
Oh, okay, because
61.
I'm at the beginning of the boomers. I'm 47, so I was, right after the war.
You're probably poisoned too.
Yeah,
Anyway, I've been getting to where the legs hurt. I by the grace of God, I've done a lot of fasting and done dry fasting and long fast, and so by the grace of God, I hadn't had the issues that most heavy people do and stuff. But now the legs are hurting and the muscles are weak. And another issue is I have just never liked exercise from the days of the President's Physical Fitness Awards in 7th grade. When you come last in everything, I couldn't stand it, And I remember, I even went over you probably heard of, he does the yoga. Dallas Page Yoga, DDPY, I don't know, whatever.
DDP.
Anyway,
Simon Dallas Page.
DDP. His studio's in Smyrna. I went over there doing that for a while. Went back after about 6 months, and he's pretty cool. He's not all bulk like he is, but he, I thought, he's going to give me crap. And he likes to stand about a foot away from me, He's like, man, tell me what's the problem? What's the problem? I said, honest, I hate exercise. I can't stand it. So he gets like this close to me and somehow gets his finger and he's like, that's your first step in problem right there. You need to change your mouth. And
he wouldn't have been standing there long if I'd have been doing that.
Well,
no man's going to stand in my face and put their finger in my face. I will not.
You don't know who Diamond Dallas Page is, do you?
I'm an old country boy. I'll knock the hell out of him.
Well, I tell you what, though, and he told me back then, he said, if you don't do something, you're going to be dead in 5 years or 10 years. And that was when I was 55 years old. And I spent last weekend, my mom's 85. I'm here taking care of her a little bit, but she's good and everything. But last week, we spent the weekend in the hospital with a stroke scare. And just spending that, not me, her. And thankfully, she came back, everything's good. She cleared the MRI and all the kind of stuff. And she still says she's not quite right, but today was better. But it's a wake-up call. And it's like, this is not the way I want my life to be, the way I want to end my life. No. And I've already started doing some of your exercises. In fact, I took one of my fat pictures, and I'm glad you had the guts to show your fat belly. But man, I got way too much fat belly and rolls. It's not pretty at 400 pounds.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
Well, but what I did do,
accountability for myself. Yeah.
And I do too. And that's why I told you, I was like, man, I wish I'd already lost 200 pounds. And I could come on that website just to hook up with people. And you invited me on, man. I appreciate that.
Oh,
but
whoever will may come.
I tell you what, I will show you this. I took one of those fat pictures and asked ChatGPT to carve this thing down to what 225 pounds would look like and put a smile on my face. And I turned this into a magnet, stuck it on the fridge, stuck it on the bathroom mirror, stuck it on the TV in the bedroom. And I don't know if y'all can see that. Wait.
Wow.
I'd like to blow it up. Yeah, that's great. I don't know if I can blow him up or not.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And that's all AI? That's AI?
Yeah, ChatGPT, just
we're living in interesting times.
Oh, God. Yeah, if you hadn't found ChatGPT, it's pretty dang interesting. But, it's helpful. And I also did the script thing. And, the imagination, I get that from my studies in scripture. Yeah. I get it everywhere, the power of using your imagination. And it's one thing, there's a lot of things, but it's absolutely one thing that distinguishes us between every other animal on the planet.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to be religious to do it. You don't have to. No. You only have to when you imagine something, when you focus your mind on something, you're much more likely for that thing to appear because you're looking for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people think it's magic. It's not magic. It's just the way the world works. Go ahead.
But I started crafting one. you know, and then I'd start reading it, and then I'd change it, and I'd whittle it down, and I finally got it whittled down to like a 2.5 minute thing, and I recorded it.
Yeah.
And you know, this morning when I was getting up and I just didn't want to get up, I was sitting there and I'm like, I better listen to this thing. And I mean, wow, honest to God, by the time I got to the end of it, it meant something, and it helped.
Yeah.
And, you know, every single day. So I've recorded that, and that, you know, I like sending that to you sometime because I don't know. Well, never mind. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But I like the way you taught it, and just some of the tweaks and some of the little things, you know.
And it doesn't have to be about diet. Look, I mean, it sounds like new age slop. Let's just be honest. But, you know, what we're talking about is there's so much distractions. Every time we flip on the TV, the radio, the internet, we're hearing messages constantly. And those constant messages are not beneficial for us, not all of them. So we are taking some time out every day to hear a good thing that we have decided. That's what the magic of it is. You know, some people, they'll take it too far. They'll go, you know, we're conjuring up things. No. We're keeping our mind focused on the goal. Just like a football team. They have to play as one. They have to have a goal in mind. You know, if they're not going out there to win, they're basically going to lose. But because you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, you know, this is there's a powerful story in the Old Testament, you know, the Tower of Babel and everything. And God precipitates what he's doing by saying now that they know nothing they can imagine will be impossible to them.
No.
And that's just the way I believe he created us. And I don't even consider the new agey kind of stuff anymore. I figure if it's truth and it's reality, I know where it came from, and other people. It's pretty sad that a new ager can take the principles of God and make them work when the church, you know. And anyway, I won't go down that road.
No. I just, you know, I want to keep it broad because I have strong beliefs, but I don't want to alienate anybody because they don't share my beliefs. I want people to know, you know, like Dr. Viktor Frankl that wrote that book that I got this idea from. And now there's another new age guy. I think he was called Neville Goddard, and he's a new agey guy, and he had a kind of similar idea. But Dr. Frankl was not, you know, he was not that way. You know, he was a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a medical doctor, and he understood how the mind works, you know, at least from 1940s understanding. But we know more about it now, and I'm not sure that it's been changed. But it's important that we focus. I mean, yes, you can go into the religious aspect of it. You could say prayer is this way, you know, or meditation, you know, if you're not religious. But focusing the mind and getting the mind calmed down and into one set of principles lessens the noise that we're in. We're swimming in noise, guys. There's noise everywhere, especially since, you know, like 20.
We live in a gigantic distraction.
Yes. But you got to find some way to say, okay, Jim here, he wants to be healthier for the last part of his life. So do I, you know. Folks, I may have 20 years, 30 years, I may have 20 minutes, but I want to be healthier during those times, you know, and I'm sure all of y'all do too. You know, we don't know how long. Mitch will probably outlive every one of us.
Well, I don't know. I hope not.
Do what, Cristi?
I was going to say, my son went carnivore because he has ADHD. So you're talking about noise. That boy had some serious noise.
Yeah.
A lot of it, emotional dysregulation.
Has it helped him?
Oh my gosh, he started at 15. And when you're that age, you know, you're very influenced by your friends and all of that. And he just didn't even, I said 30 days, you know, and he's like, all right, 30 days. He has not looked back. And That's good. Know that it's gotten rid of all of those noisy thoughts, the inability to focus. A big one that I noticed is the emotional dysregulation, because he would just lose it at the drop of a hat over nothing. If it's something he wants to do, before he would choose not to do it because it felt hard to even get started. And now he'll just tackle the task and complete it and organize it. So all
That's
the other
good.
noise about my friends are all eating pizza and whatever the heck they're eating, I don't know. He's able to, prioritize, I guess, that he would rather, eat the meat and feel good and be able to, just do the things that he wants to do instead of feeling overwhelmed. So I know that's what keeps him on track for sure.
If you had to guess what percentage of his friends are hyperactive as all get out.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
I teach 5th grade. So I don't, his friends, I don't, he'll go over to their house. So I haven't seen a lot of them. But I can tell you in my classes, it's more and more and more both diagnosed and undiagnosed. And I can confidently say after watching my son, it's the food.
Yeah.
And I see what they're feeding them in schools. It's the food. And I wish that I could just bring in a bunch of eggs, but I can't do that.
Well, it's possible that the school lunch program will be changed. I'm not going into that topic much tonight, but it seems like we might have a change in the school lunch program eventually, and I hope it does. I don't know what you think about that, huh?
I would like to get my my little girl in here for one of these streams someday soon.
Yeah,
to talk about her dietary change, because when she finally escaped from her living situation with her mom, she was on the edge of death. And having come here, when I went and picked her up and brought her home, she weighed 87 pounds at 18 years old.
What?
And at 5 feet tall. And they say, oh, that's average for a girl her size. No. You could see between her ribs almost. And she had all kinds of problems. She had asthma. She had some really weird bleeding disorder. She had all kinds of problems. I'm not going to go through her story here. I would rather her do it.
Yeah.
But now she gets up with me in the morning. We both go out, and I have 6 eggs. She has about 4. Sometimes she has 6. And her whole mentality has been slowly switching around. And her level of health now is through the roof. We literally, right before the stream came on tonight, she and I were out, and she's in chat right now. Hi, BB. But we were out in the back doing squats, like deep squats and calf raises and stuff. It was leg day for her and I. Oh. But yeah, we exercised together and stuff. And she's slowly coming around to the keto carnivore, the whole ketovore universe. Yeah. And she's starting to see a big difference in the way her body's working. She's getting much healthier, much less pain, especially in the period section. The problems that she had before and what she's got going on now, it's 2 totally different worlds, and it's all based on food.
Well, you know that, which I don't want to embarrass your daughter by talking about it, but and perhaps Cristi would more talk about this since she is a woman. But that's the problem with women's monthly cycles is all tied into insulin resistance, metabolic disease. It's very much there. And I hope I'm not talking out of turn. If any of you want to correct me, go ahead and do it. But polycystic, what's it called?
PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah, it is a part of the metabolic syndrome problem. Mitch, you want to say something?
Well, yes, you're right. And, we all pretty much know Robert Kiltz.
Yeah.
And his fertility practice, and it's all about diet. It's probably one of the reasons. I saw a comment go by a minute ago. It said that the Gen X population increase is 26 million less than the baby boomers, and they try to make up that difference by immigration. But the fertility is definitely down, like every other thing that requires you to be healthy. So no, you're not off base.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't say so.
No. Lewis, you hadn't said much. What you got going on?
I mean,
who?
Lewis?
Lewis. Okay.
No, I mean, listen, it's.
I like your T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say, good choice.
Yeah,
But,
thank you.
but I hate all the modern Star Wars. Sorry, guys. They ruined it for me, so I'm done with them. But the old ones.
Okay, all right. Listen, this is Darth Vader, so this is.
I know. Yeah.
But I like the new ones are good too. No, I mean, listen, it's and I enjoyed listening to Jim and how he's using some of the techniques that you have shared in your videos. And all I was thinking while Jim was sharing was just I was wondering like how he's doing on his diet, because it's very hard in the beginning. And Jim, how are you doing as far as?
I guess I'm about 2 weeks now, and
yeah, how you feeling?
I'm feeling better. I mean, in increments. You know, the legs are an issue, and then Wednesday, you know, I came home, and I mean, I've been dropping pounds, like, you know, and I still haven't broke the scale thing, but I've been dropping that like I've been fasting or something, which that was pretty cool.
And you're eating.
I mean, because I was 415 a couple weeks ago, and I'm breaking a little above 395 right now.
Good.
I had 5 pounds
Wow.
on.
And the cool thing with that is, I know that when I start drinking water, I'm not going to gain 5 or 10 pounds back. So it's like it's there. But Wednesday, my legs started hurting again throughout the day, and it got worse. And that kind of stuff just gets you discouraged, you know, because you're like, man, I'm doing this. And so, you know, I went through this process. And any other time, y'all, it takes me an hour and a half or 2 hours to drive home. Any other time, I could spend 2 or 3 stops at fast food stuff just to eat my way down through town, just to have something to do. And there's absolutely no desire for that at all. I mean, I look at the food signs now, and I'm like, golly, there's a Domino's commercial back on, all the toppings for $10. And I remember the last time that was running last quarter, I was killing myself to try to get that. And now it's like I was looking at it, it's like, God. But trying to get home, I thought, you know, I've done myself a cutoff. You know, my kitchen's closed at 7:30. You know, and no snacks to the bedroom at night. But I had to, you know, they had a church thing. I'm like, I don't really want to do the church thing, but I don't want to go inside, and you know, and I don't. I've been a TV holic, and I swear I can't find anything that I want to watch now. Normally I'd stop and get a couple of shots on a morning or a night like that, and it's like, I don't want any alcohol. So all my little things that I've used to kind of satiate myself and satisfy myself and whatever, I know they won't do it, and I don't have to go do them to find out they won't do it. So now the thing is learning a whole new routine, a whole new habit, you know, and at night, instead of doing the scrolling and the TV and all that stuff, it's like, let's start reading. Let's start journaling a little bit. Journaling is something I've kind of felt like I should be doing for decades now, and I just hadn't, you know. And
what's like, as far as what you're eating, what's like a go-to meal that you enjoy, or that you
know, often? I'm still trying to figure that stuff out, but there's a market here that they do what they sell this bundle of what they call fat scraps, but it has lots of beef in it still too, and it's real cheap. And so I take that and I cut it up and I do it in the air fryer, and it's like, man,
carnivore popcorn.
It's good. And then I'll eat one batch of it and think, all right, I ought to be cooking another one while I'm eating this one, so I can go after that one. And I might have been too lazy to do it, but by the time I get through that and I sit there a minute or two, it's like, man, I'm really full. And I've done a couple of times during the day. I didn't take something with me. I thought I was hungry, so I'd run through Burger King and get me 3 Whopper patties. And just eat that and think, all right, I'll get a snack, I'll eat when I get home. But by the time I get home, I'm like, man, I'm not hungry.
That's right.
And, you know, and so, you know, like Chafee says, if you eat too much fat, your stools get soft. Well, I hadn't hit that mark yet. And I've been eating a ton of fat. So I don't really know what's what right now. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So I'm just,
Good.
I'm trusting God, honestly, to show me and help me navigate what I need to do for me.
Well, there's lots of groups of people, lots of communities for you to stay anchored with that way.
I've been through too many of them, man. And again, so much knowledge but you don't implement it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
you learn all this stuff, but you don't actually implement something long enough to see if it'll work for you. And so with this, I'm like, you know what? Let's. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna give it 30 days and get off carnivore. But it's like, let's focus on this. Let's don't do all the cheese and all the dairy and all the crap.
No.
Just do this for a minute and see what happens.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
And in the first 2 or 3 weeks, Mitch says something that I've always believed too. Just eat until you don't want to eat anymore. Just eat.
And that's a place I never thought I would get.
Yeah, but you won't want to eat. Everybody says they wrote every comment when I reached a little short with Mitch saying that, and Knuckles too saying it too. Look, what these two guys know is that you're not going to you're gonna stuff yourself, but you're not going to be stuffing yourself all day long. These people making the comments, they show their ignorance by saying, "Oh, I can't believe you're telling people that." But us,
brother, I promise you,
we know that's not true. Go ahead.
You eat 6 to 8 eggs a day, and you are not going to be hungry.
That's right. That's right.
I get the cravings now. I still do this. I don't know about you. We have Carl's Jr. here, and we have the lettuce wrapped burger. I will go get a big old double lettuce wrapped burger, and that will be it for the whole day. It's just a giant cheeseburger with lettuce for the bread, and there's 0 carbs in it almost.
Not going to hurt
carbs
you.
is 2 slices
Not going to hurt
tomato.
you. Now, don't forget, Bob, qualify my remarks.
Yeah.
With you got to eat a high fat, moderate protein. You can eat all. So what I do, and what's always worked for me, is I either do 1 meal or 2 meals a day, but I somehow manage almost every day to eat about a half a pound of bacon and at least now 6 eggs. And I'm telling you what, if you eat a half a pound of bacon and 6 eggs, you can't help but get enough fat. There's so much fat in eggs and bacon that you will not want to eat after that. And,
no, your hunger is destroyed.
Well, maybe Amy, will eat. But hi, Amy.
Hi. So I might be the exception to that rule, right?
Yeah.
But
You're not the only one.
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with me, which it seemed like I had a thyroid issue, and now I don't have a thyroid issue. I don't know. I go back to the doctor tomorrow. But I got up to, we had a track for the PhD class, and I got up to 300 grams of fat, 6,000 calories. I was still hungry.
God. Yeah, that's something.
And I've eaten 12 eggs in a day. I've eaten, you name it, and I was still hungry. Like I am.
Hey, Amy, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How often were you eating?
I try to only eat 2 times a day, but I got that
within 6
6,000
hours.
calories. So I try to fast till noon. Then I have my first meal at noon, and then I try to have my second meal at 4 or 5. Right?
Ooh, yeah,
that's great. That's a terrific. You may have a hormone. It may be something medical there, hormonal. Yeah, because you should certainly get the leptin flowing long before you get hungry after eating that much fat. That's for sure.
I mean,
how
about
about your how about your insulin levels? Have you had them checked? Your fasting insulin, C-peptide, everything's working great.
I have not gotten my C-peptide.
Well, if you did your fasting insulin, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I had that checked. It's been a while, but
you gotta do it again.
I mean,
yeah.
I probably need it. I asked the doctor to do it, and they said you don't need to because your glucose is like.
Yeah.
You tell them this. I want it because I said so.
It. Right? Yeah.
You don't need a reason. Just do it because I want you to.
I don't think insurance will pay for it. Okay, I'll pay for it. And guess what?
I pay for it.
Insurance will
I said I'll pay for it.
Yeah, Lewis. Lewis, I appreciate you asking. And another thing I'm experiencing, and people talk about eat till you're full or eat till you're not hungry. Yeah. And with me, eating has just always been entertainment, satiation,
I
my
think you are
loneliness,
in good
my
company.
depression, my everything. So
You're in good company.
getting full never stopped me from eating.
Mhm.
But what's
no.
been happening in the last week or so is like, I just don't want to, which is, I'm not having to make myself not do it.
I'm not going to say that I'm worried about you under eating, but I just want you to make sure that you're eating
Well,
enough.
and that's one thing I'd like to check out because, Bob, you know, you talk quite often about all the calories you got hanging around, and kind of mixing that in with Jason Fung's stuff, and if we are eating, pardon?
It's where I got a lot of it.
Yeah,
Jason Fung was back there.
Well, what I put together, what I put together for me is, if I am eating, you know, that one meal or a couple of meals close, but you know, the one meal, even if it's quote a low calorie thing, I got the calories.
Lots of energy. You do.
I mean, I got the calories to feed myself, and so it just allows that insulin to drop back down.
The important thing is you don't want to string too many days like that in a row, where your body might start to downregulate.
Okay. Well, listen,
remember, our bodies don't want to lose weight. They want to keep fat. So we have to kind of, you know.
I want to invite it, and whenever I'm like saying this stuff, it's not me challenging anything y'all are saying. I'm looking for answers and taking a day at a time, I guess.
Well, you can see, like when Amy's talking, and my experience way back in the day and now, a lot of women have different issues. I don't know why. They just do.
No, they're metabolically different.
You know, and certain medications can cause you trouble. I mean, they just can. But I'm careful to talk about that because I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to give anybody an idea that they should listen to me about their medication, because that would be foolish. You know, but you know, there are issues. If anybody's having trouble losing weight, they should consult a doctor and review some of their medications and things with a qualified person. And you know, my wife that died years ago, when she was always slim and trim, very beautiful woman, and she got on these psych meds. She got huge. She just ballooned up overnight. She would starve herself. She would do anything, and she could not lose the weight.
It's all about the hormones.
You know, it's all about the hormones, and it's so this is an issue for some people. I mean, it really is. Amy, I see you're wanting to say something.
So actually, the reverse happened to me. I was on a migraine medication that the side effect was weight loss. And so what happened with that was my hair was falling out. And through my own due diligence. Lose weight? Well, I mean, so yeah, I lost weight. Okay. I lost weight.
I'm just want to make sure.
When I was on the medication, but I was also doing like strict keto and lost. Right. So I can't say that really I attribute it all to, but what I will say was I stopped that medication, and now I'm hungry all the time. And
did you stop the medication when you switched to Carnivore?
No, I stopped it about 6 months before I switched to Carnivore.
Okay. So around this, close enough.
So the other thing that happened, I mean, let's think about this. I did PSMF for 4 years, right?
Yeah, but how many days a week?
What is that?
How many days a week?
What is PSMF? What was that acronym?
You explain
protein
what that is,
sparing modified fasting, which is basically the Emmerich's pure protein days, and you do that 1 to 3 days a week.
Low carb, low fat.
I would not do that. I would never ever do that. I never liked that. I think it's dumb.
Only a few days a week, Mitch.
You don't need to ever do that for any reason. That's my opinion.
It's like
my opinion. My opinion.
Think about like fasting. I don't eat on Mondays, right? I'm fasting tomorrow. Amy would eat chicken breast, 500 calories, and that would be her Monday.
I felt amazing on it. I felt
you might have, but I think you hurt yourself metabolically eating too much protein. I really do.
Well, and there's some truth to that, because what I think happened is it worked for 4 years until it stopped working, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think I slowed my metabolism down so far with it that now I'm eating fat and my metabolism doesn't, it's
Here,
my
can I say
metabolism
something real
isn't used
quick?
to that much fat. Yes.
When you do a very high protein, low fat, low carb, you are in effect deluging your body with sugar.
Yeah. Your
The
body will turn that
protein
into sugar.
okay, your body uses a process called gluconeogenesis. I'm sure everybody here knows it.
Yep.
When you dose yourself on protein, your body is spiking your sugar, and that's probably why you were feeling good, because you were getting all the sugar you wanted for a week or for however long you were doing it.
No, she would do it for one day.
No, I was alternating.
Oh,
I was
okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Well, yeah,
every
but you
day.
got to remember that sugar sticks around for a long time in your liver, and your liver will pump that out over days. That's why we go through keto flu, because your liver, you can mess up one time on keto, and you can give yourself a high dose of carbs in one day, and then your liver will hold on to
If you're
that for
fasting,
days.
it's good. Your liver should be cleared out.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. If you dose yourself with high amounts of protein,
Yeah.
you
It's
refill
not
the
high
fuel
amounts of
tank.
it's not high amounts of protein. Amy, how many grams of protein
Even when
eating in a day?
you are completely protein deficient, or when you are sugar deficient, your liver will be empty. Eating a big old chicken breast like that, the gluconeogenesis will take every ounce of that, turn it straight into sugar, and dump it right into your liver.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Time out. Time out. What we have here is a lot of people who are right. Everybody's right,
Thank you. Done.
but
Next.
nobody knows what to do because it's
Right.
so much noise and so complicated
bacon.
and so many
is.
things to learn and so many things to remember that nobody remembers or does it right. You hear a snippet of this. What the hell is a protein-sparing modified fast? First of all, a fast is simple. You eat nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing is a fast. There is no other kind of fast. There's no sardine fast. There's no Twinkie fast. A fast means don't eat. There's only like a water fast where you can drink water or coffee. But we keep coming up with these, and I use the word cockamamie schemes and routines. Eat 60, 70, 80% fat, the rest protein.
You know why?
Eat it
Mitch?
consistently.
You tell us
Eat
why.
it every day. Don't keep switch hitting, and that's what I've been doing, and it works. Now, it may not work for you, but if I ever try to get super fancy, it stops working. It throws everything off. Get into a routine.
What is the natural, Mitch? This is the thing I try to tell myself, and I tell other people. Don't overthink this.
Exactly.
If I get a piece of meat, and it's a fairly fat piece of meat, it's going to have the right percentages in it. If I eat fried chicken, it's going to have basically the right percentages. I'm eating an egg, it's basically the right percentage.
You can't go wrong with an egg.
You don't have to change the ratios because that's not natural. And I'm not saying nothing against you, Amy. If it's been
I know.
No.
that helped you, then,
It was a
then-
learning
then
experience.
disregard everything I said. But
Well-
for most people, they're trying to think, well, I got to have this much protein. This, dude, your ancestors running around on the savannah didn't have a way to calculate.
No, the cavemen didn't have scales either, So anyway, that's my piece, and I'm going to check out because
Okay.
I'm
Good to see you.
I'm so screwed up from this time change that I hardly got any sleep last night, and I got to get up early tomorrow to have my morning live stream at 7 a.m. And I love seeing all you guys. Always, so many of my friends. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, take the rest of the day off.
Okay, I'm going to take the rest of
care,
the
man.
Take the
Thank
day
you.
off.
Thank you, and
Eat
we'll.
well, Mitch.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
If somebody else wants to come in, we got a
hey,
place open.
Todd. Todd, you got Bob, you got a super chat.
I got a super
Hey.
chat.
We got
Hey, Bob's back. Glad to have you back, Bob.
Hey, sweet.
Loved your
That's-
content when I was
yeah.
first starting Carnivore. Thank you, Carnivore Cure.
That's Todd.
That's Todd.
That's
Yep.
Todd
Todd
Bachman.
Bachman.
Hey, Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Cool.
TOD.
TODD.
TODD, right?
Yeah,
Bachman.
TODD.
You
Todd,
know,
get your camera on, Todd. Come on. Join us.
Yeah, come on, Todd. Here, I'll put the link in.
If I may, I'll add something else that I've been experiencing. You know, one thing, I mean, I love fasting, you know, after you get into it, but what I loved is I don't have any condemnation about what I'm eating, how much, or anything else. And since I've been doing this, I don't experience the condemnation of what I'm eating. It's like I'm kind of at peace. And that's not just that, but that peace is growing in other realms of my life. And I got a lot going on in my life.
Yeah.
You know, but we all do. You know, you said something a while ago about the prescription. I thought, you know, I praise God. I don't take any prescriptions. I don't
either.
I don't have to mess with that, you know, and don't want to.
Nice.
But I don't even like taking.
I mean, I feel bad for them because they're having to take it, and I don't encourage anybody to be their own doctor. You know, get yourself healthy so the doctor can take you off your medication. You know, right. Thomas,
If
I
you're
haven't
healthy,
spoken to
you
you
won't
at
have
all.
anything to
You've been
do.
on. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You had interesting conversations.
Did you have anything going on tonight?
No, not tonight. Just yesterday I had a great interview with Amy. But
Oh, I'm gonna watch that. Me and Amy gonna have a how do you call it?
Yeah, it's dual stream, simulcast,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you want to
Something
call
like
it.
that, right?
Crossover
I think
event.
on the 12th of April. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
the 12th,
okay,
yeah, 12th, the week after Easter.
Yeah. The week after Easter. That'd be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, anybody else got something? I'm really liking tonight. Rick, you've been awful quiet, uncharacteristically quiet.
Milton's got his tongue, that's why.
Yeah.
No, I figured I'm the oddball here because I don't have the health issues. I don't fast. I eat 3 times a day. I eat as much as I want. I eat whatever I want. Of course, I only want meat. So that kind of makes it easy. And I don't think I relate to a lot of people because I don't have the chronic pain, you know, all the other issues that everybody has, blood sugar issues and serious problems. So I think I'm more a comedy relief than anything. And I'm famous for eating a lot. I'm not one of those people that eats like a little bitty bird. I eat like a big old Muscovy duck. It's just, I look at this different. I'm here to meet people. I'm here to make friends. I'm here to learn. I've learned a lot just from being around these carnivore groups. I mean, I know what the SMF is and A1C and all this stuff. I didn't know any of this stuff 4 years ago.
Right.
Because I just did it because I was a 15-year-old that was rebellious and I just wanted to try something different. They told me not to eat this stuff and I liked it. So I thought I'm going to eat it.
Right.
But now, I mean, look at what it did to me 42 years later.
And I love it. It's living proof. And Amy, I hope you don't feel attacked by when people.
Oh no, I can take it.
You can do whatever diet you want, and it's good with me. I just don't tell people that's out there in internet land. Don't get obsessive about.
Well,
you know, because Amy's not a newbie, folks. She has a lot of information more than the average person would have.
When you talk to me about my story, you'll understand this was a journey like over 8 years now, right? And I apologize, Bob. I just missed you. Like you got off YouTube and then I started keto, right? So I apologize that we hadn't met before now.
Yeah,
the other thing I want to point out too is these things worked for me. They were tools. They worked for me until they didn't, right?
And Amy, I also want to say that they work for thousands of people. That the Emmerichs, like it's not, hey Todd.
Yeah.
You can't.
And then some things happen, like a hysterectomy.
Howdy, let's get rowdy.
You know, some things happened that changed my
hormones. I actually understand. I mean, as much as a man can understand. I mean, let's be honest. But women do have, and I hope I'm not talking out of turn, but women have some other issues that men don't have, and they have to find workarounds for it. Sorry, folks. Guess what? Contrary to the world's view, there are differences between men and women. Sorry.
Right. We'll call them issues. We'll call them differences.
Yeah, I mean, there's differences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd.
I do have a little bit of an update. I'm down 3.5 pounds since last Sunday.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's great.
I started it. What was it? 420 something. A little while ago, and as of last night, I'm down to 386.
Wow.
So it's coming down steadily. It's coming down
Yeah,
steadily. About 2 to 3 pounds a week. So in 52 weeks, that's what 104 pounds.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
When I put on my clothes for church this morning, I had to pull that belt one more loop, and that made me so happy.
My shorts fell off in Walmart.
I was really ready to praise the Lord. Hey Todd, how are you?
Good,
First time
man.
meeting you.
I
Everybody
know.
else knows you.
It is so good to meet you too. Yeah, when I was first starting Carnivore, that was 38 months ago. It was kind of at the end of your videos, I think, but I was checking out some of your videos and I loved them. And you were one of the reasons that kept me on Carnivore doing the high fat. So that's awesome. It's good to meet you.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, they've helped a lot of people. I don't know what the magic was about that butter makes your pants fall off. This helped a lot of people more than
It was a good catch, that
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It definitely kept me on the right track, and it gave me something to grasp onto when I needed it. So it was huge.
Yeah. I'm all about that, actually. I mean, I know it doesn't get talked about a lot in keto, and we used to call it low carb, high fat, or whatever name that people want to make money off of, we'll call it. Okay. But just the natural diet of mankind, basically with the other foods being poverty foods, basically. And they just are. So, but yeah, it's just something that if you go about it the right way, you just try to do something for somebody, but you have to get your mind right, or you won't stick with it. You won't. I don't care how much information you could have a 10-hour lecture and prove it to them from the molecular level up to the universal level, and they won't do it unless they have their mind ready to go. I mean, they just won't.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, what got my mind right was right at the same time, just because everything kind of came to a pinnacle. But when because I was in pretty bad shape, I was 715 pounds and I was dying. That they gave me.
Wow! Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah, and they gave me 3 years to live, and I was on oxygen. I couldn't stand for 90 seconds at a time. But was Gary Taub and Dr. Robert Lustig that made a point that really stuck with me, was that you could hold the gun to everybody's head and you could not affect the behavior of 8 billion people on this earth like our diet has. And it's because what ends up changing behavior that has corrupted our health system and our medical system is the environment that they created. You are a product of your environment. And when that sunk through to my head that this isn't an individual problem, this is happening all across the world right now. And it's because our environment changed, and they have a propaganda set up that puts the blame back on us by calorie restricting. They say if you're eating too many calories, it's because it's your fault, because you're broken, because you have an issue. And when I finally freed myself from that, thinking of it in a calorie matrix and thinking of it in a I need to restrict matrix, and thinking more about the environment that they've inundated us with in our food, and they turned it into products, and started flipping that. And that's why I spend so much time at SBG, and I donate my time there and Zoom calls and stuff, because that's my new environment. It's a carnivore environment where we all, and just like these YouTube videos, this is my new environment where I get to see all you guys get healthy every day against the recommended, fear mongering of the medical system, where they're all lying to us to keep us, sick and subservient and on drugs.
Well, some of us have been on this roller coaster a few years.
That's right. Well, they do all this for money. But listen, the food companies, and I don't care. Maybe you want to sue me. I ain't got nothing you take anyway. You're worse than the cigarette companies. I had more respect for the Marlboro man than I do for big food.
Yeah,
because you know what you're doing. You're the same as that family that sold all this Oxycontin and stuff into the South and the North and destroyed the lives of people. You're evil people. And you will, I'm sorry, you may be an atheist. You will face a judgment for what you're doing.
No.
Because you know what you're doing. And
They are.
Get it anyway.
If
They're
there
gonna
was,
stand tall before the man.
if
Do
there
what?
was, if there was ever a question of how corrupt the food system is, when they came out with GLP-1s, the processed food companies lost so much money that they're now spending $12 billion a year to engineer GLP-1 resistant food.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick.
Mhm.
It's sick.
And the
There
funny
you
thing
go.
is you want to turn your own GLP-1 on, just eat more fat.
Yeah, yeah,
Eat
yeah,
more
'cause-
protein, eat more fat, all those things
Yeah.
trigger GLP-1.
yeah, because they are the natural slowest gastric emptying food is animal fat.
Mhm.
And it's so silly, but when we realized that they spend $12 billion a year to weaponize food and turn it into recreational drugs and get us hooked on it, and then
That's what they
demonize
got.
the things that free us from it and
No
actually get us
surprise.
healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no surprise.
That's what they did.
We live in a world of symptomatic medicine. They make billions and billions treating symptoms, and they make nothing by curing anybody because
Well, just keep you,
third
they just keep
person
you
doesn't
alive.
come back.
Just they string you along, keep you alive, because that's where the
Drain
money
your
is.
bank account.
Right.
Well, not
They
only
keep you
that,
alive long enough to empty your bank account. When you stop being a source of money for them, then they just cut you off.
They
And
must
they
think me.
purposely demonize the one type of food that
That
actually regulates your, and that's fat, folks. Fat.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, and then they diagnose you with symptoms and pretend like they're going to treat it. That's the biggest thing, because they never hit the underlying cause. I'm working on getting skin surgery, so I've had to get medically cleared from all the specialists that said I had irreversible, congestive heart failure and all this nonsense that's all reversed in the last 38 months. But I've had to go see
Funny
them.
how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny how many
Yeah.
I've got, 8 or 9 things that have reversed that they said would never heal. But anyhow, nonsense. But I have to go deal with those people to get cleared for skin reduction surgery here coming up. And so when I was been seeing them, they all want to still. Every time I go in there, they try to prescribe me a GLP-1, a beta blocker.
You don't need it.
No, and I'm like, for what? What if you can tell me what it's going to do for me and why it's going to help my quality of life and how it's going to help me get healthier, I'm glad doing this. They just said, oh, well, the fact of the matter is the studies show that people that are on them live longer than people that aren't. And I'm like, and you have a high fat diet. I'm like, I know. And the high fat diet cured 8 things that you guys said were never going to heal, that were irreversible.
100%.
Oh, they hate being told I told you so.
Todd,
That's
what-
what,
if you don't mind, how much have you lost?
As of today, 344 pounds.
Outstanding.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Hell, I mean, just wow,
Well,
guys.
And
I like that.
that's awesome, but it's the icing on the cake. What's really the miracle is that I was oxygen dependent. I could only stand for 90 seconds at a time. My resting heart rate was 108 beats a minute. And with 6 liters of home oxygen with a resting heart rate of 108 beats a minute, my oxygen saturation was only 88%. And so, I had a stroke. My heart was shutting down. I had gained like 80 pounds of fluid from the congestive heart failure, and that's why everything was going downhill. But now I go see a personal trainer 3 times a week, and I do heavy strength training 3 times a week. I do sprinting on the other 3 days a week, and my oxygen's at 96%. No more sleep apnea, no congestive heart failure, nothing. I am as strong as an ox now. Better shape, and I've been 600 pounds since I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So this was something that I fought my whole life. And now, I'm down into the high 3s, 380-ish. And
So we're on the same boat, you and me.
yeah. And so, but the difference is now I can go, I couldn't even drive. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't stand for 90 seconds. And now I'm doing, 8 to 10 hours worth of heavy strength training a week and loving every minute of it,
Yeah, you and me could get together and have a show of our own too. That would be freaking awesome.
Yeah. Dude, your story is very inspiring. Very, very inspiring.
Thank you much.
Very. And I know a lady that had the skin reduction surgery, and it actually turned out very well for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it took her down many sizes, and it really helped her. So, and she recovered from it. It was, a little bit painful, but
yeah. I ain't worried about any of that. Right now, the thing that I'm fighting is if we finally got it diagnosed, and as I figured, I have congenital lymphedema, And that's because my mom, when she was pregnant with me, had gestational diabetes. And when that happens, the infant's pancreas has to put out a lot of insulin. So you're born insulin resistant. That's why I was 300 pounds when I was 8 years old. I was 600 pounds when I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a different look because you start having you have a underdeveloped lymphatic system, and it lowers your testosterone. So your sex hormones are screwed up when you're young. And I had to be 39 years old and force my doctor to test my testosterone. And it was like so low, it was barely on the radar, and so they weren't even diagnosing me with that. And the lymphedema came from an underdeveloped lymphatic system. So that's what I'm working on right now. So the reason why I've had huge composition changes in the last 6 months, but what happens is when you burn fat out of a fat cell, it replaces with metabolic fluid to wash that fat cell out. And, you all heard it. It's called whooshing. But because all that fluid has to go through the lymphatic system, and that's my kind of bottleneck in my system. So I'm doing a lot of lymphatic work now, and I'm doing the Big Six exercise, and that's pushing a lot off me quite frequently. So it's making big gains again now. So it's pretty interesting.
I'm not familiar with that, Todd. Would you let me and maybe the people out in internet land know what that means?
The Big Six exercises? Yeah. So you have your thoracic ducts behind your collarbone. You have lymphatics right behind your jawbone. You have them in both armpits, and then you have them right below your rib cage, and then you have them right where your hips bend, and right in your groin and where your hips bend.
Inguinal lymphatic nodes.
Yeah, and then when behind your knees. And so what I actually did was I bought a sonic shockwave gun, a medical grade one that uses sonic waves, and I do the Big Six. I put that on all my lymphatics, and it clears up the sludge in those key lymphatic nodes, gets your lymphatic system.
Did your insurance or Medicaid pay for that device? You just had to pay for it.
Yeah, it was a pricey one. It was $1,200, but I got it because I'd used it in a therapy that I was doing, and it really worked. And so it's really opened up because that shock, you'll feel it to the core of your bones. And you got to I'm not telling anybody to do it. It's because honestly, they're not built for that because they can do damage if you do it improperly because they're so intense. But you have to be real careful. Like here, you don't want to point it toward your eardrum because it'll cause damage to your eardrum. So you have to focus the shockwave. I usually do it behind the jaw and focus it forward where it's not going toward like my jugular.
Is that like a percussive ultrasound device?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I've had them used on my neck and my back.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about. It feels good too. I bet it feels warm, right?
It can actually. It'll hurt to the core of your bone. It'll make the center of your bone rattle.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good for tissue if you have any tendons or anything. It promotes healing the tendons and tissue. It'll strengthen your bones because it actually causes stem cells to release from your bones, and it'll cause thicker bones. But yeah, it's been good, and it's helping me get rid of all this fluid because now where I had all this fat, I have these composition changes, but I'm actually gaining a couple pounds here and there from the weight training and from holding water. But now I have to push this water off, and it's pretty substantial right now. So that's the latest thing that I've been working on. But I know I have probably 60 pounds of water on me right now, maybe 70. So
have you tested your testosterone since you lost weight?
Oh yeah. So it did go up a little bit, but I was chronically low. So like the normal range, the normal low range from a sick population is between 300 and 900. Mine was 124, and when on Carnivore, it only got up to 174. So I am on TRT, and I got it back up to 900, and I feel amazing.
I bet you do. I bet you feel much better. Yeah. You think
I got so much my hair's falling out from it.
You think you'll have to just stay on that probably for the rest of your life?
So I'm trying not to. So what I'm doing to cure that is I am right now, and I take the pellets because pellets, they put them in your back and they last for 4 months and they slowly secrete TRT. And most people have had a better chance of getting off of pellets than injections. So I got on the pellets, and then of course I'm eating a high-fat carnivore diet, but I'm hoping to wake up that system. And then this is controversial. In fact, this will be a breaking news that I've never told anybody. I don't speak about this because if I say something on my YouTube channel, people will ask me what the dose is, what brand, and then they'll just start taking it without doing their own research. And I'm not about that.
So bad, folks. Please don't do stuff like
Don't do that. Like, I have a very specific reason, and I've researched it extensively. But I'm taking one peptide that's injectable that's supposed to help you regenerate your testosterone naturally, and it's called Kispeptin. And so I'm taking that to try to heal my testosterone and get my body to make it again and keep it from going dormant while I'm on TRT so that I can wean off of it. And that's the exact protocol why I got on this, to try to get off of it.
Okay.
So I bet you never used to leave your house at all when you were 700 something pounds.
Now, when I was there, I was, even this is what's different about people, when they hear my story, they go, because I'm an electrician by trade and I worked for 20 years in the construction field at 600 pounds. And people go, that's not even possible. Well, it is. People don't understand that when you develop really heavy and you go through puberty heavy, you build a big frame and your body gets used to holding the weight. The people that get really bogged down by it are the people that were normal size into their late teens or early 20s, and then they gain a bunch of weight. That cripples them because they don't have a frame for it. I have a frame built for it because I was always big, right? But when I got to be right around 36, 37, my health started going way downhill. From now, what I know was high CRP and an infection from cellulitis from the lymphatic problems that were in my leg. I think that was the beginning of the downfall. But I got really sick and I stayed in the house and started working from home because at this point I was working as a manager for my brother's electrical contracting company and doing bids and invoices. So I started having to do it from home because I was just too sick to get out of there, and things went downhill. And then in 2021, I caught COVID, and COVID gave me basically over a period of time, gave me congestive heart failure, COVID lung, and a stroke. And then I had to come back from that. And that's when I started Carnivore, and it brought me all the way back. And so now I'm 43 and it's all healed up.
It's great. It's crazy what we won't get into that, but
I feel you.
I don't want to get canceled.
Trust me, I've gotten a few hard strikes from speaking my mind on here.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm not afraid, but I can't see you working all these years just to have it taken down because
I don't blame you.
One little stupid thing like that. We all know. Look, the powers that be are overlords. You haven't fooled anyone. No one is fooled by you except somebody that's still wearing a mask driving down the interstate alone in their car. That's the only people you fool. Everybody else is wide awake.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Rick, you've been awful quiet. You've been over there just quiet.
I don't like to interrupt other people. There's so many great stories, and there's so many great people here. I mean, Todd, his story is super inspiring, and poor Thomas hasn't said much.
No.
And then Lewis, everybody's...
All right, Rick, stop throwing us under the bus. We're talking to you right now.
Everybody's got a great story. I'm the one that's just a quack. I'm just a comedy relief.
You are. That is true. You are just a quack. Where's Milton? Let's go to the Milton camp.
Milton's actually right here. Come on, Milton. Yeah.
I always have a lot to say, but I need to meter it out over the next couple of months with the streams.
No.
So, Douglas, you got your sidekick there. I waved at her.
Hopefully, one of these days soon, I would like to get her in here and have her tell her health story about how her health has changed from when she got here to now.
Sure.
And even 2 years later, about all the conditions. It would have to be a different time though, because it's probably going to take a while. Because how many conditions did you have? You had eczema, you had asthma, you had
several spine issues and so forth.
What was the blood disorder called?
Idiopathic ITP.
Idiopathic ITP. Wow. All kinds of problems. Failure to thrive. She was literally starving to death. And more. There's more there. And one of these days, it would be an interesting story.
I mean, we're open to it. Well, let's have it.
Now she's eating healthy. Yeah, she's eating lots of meat, lots of fat.
Good.
It's weird. I never thought I would ever meet anybody in my life that loves kipper snacks and sardines that isn't a guy.
I love them. They're so good.
She loves. You like kippers and stuff too, Amy? Heck yeah.
Yes, I do. I like sardines and mackerel and oyster. All the things. They're good. They're delicious.
They
Just
are.
eat it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And she's discovering foods that she never got to eat when she was with her mom. And now her whole health has turned completely around.
Amazing.
I mean,
And
just look at the
how old is
smile.
she? How old is she?
19, almost 20.
Yeah, she'll be 20 in April.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah. To go from almost dying to completely turning her life around.
I mean, food is medicine.
So you don't have to be old and fat for food to cure you.
No.
Any age. The younger you are, okay, let's just say this. If you can get into a keto/carnivore way of life at a young age, your outlook is way better than it is for us who are finding it now.
Well, we've damaged ourselves. You know?
Yes. We've
Well,
had years to damage ourselves.
That's me. I started age 15.
Yep, and see? Look at him. The pinnacle of health.
That cholesterol is going to catch up with you any minute, Rick.
Yeah.
A heart attack is coming. I feel it.
You're going to have a heart attack.
I'm going to have a heart attack. I call it the heart attack diet.
It's funny how that works. If we're keto, we're all eating this heart attack diet, yet all the problems that they say we're going to have, all the people eating carbs are getting that. Us, we're all like, okay, we're waiting for the problems. Yeah,
You should see my blood pressure.
You shouldn't see mine.
Borderline hospitalization.
Yeah, well, it was.
I've shown my blood pressure in my live streams. I'm sure somebody knows what it is.
It's 1 degree over cadaver, Rick. Your blood pressure is 1 degree
Check
over
his blood
cadaver.
pressure, and they have to make sure he's alive.
Yeah.
You'll probably outlive us all, Rick.
It's because he's so tall, it takes a long time for the blood to get up there.
Yeah, there's nothing circulating.
Well, that's the other thing. Nobody in my family was ever 6'6", so I could have gotten taller from that. Plus, they say that us tall people are supposed to have high blood pressure and are going to get cancer and heart disease before everybody else. But maybe the carnivore diet's going to help keep that from coming.
Yeah,
well, just make sure you keep your vitamin C intake high too, because that's how your arterial system keeps itself patched. A lot of people don't know this. If you have high cholesterol in your blood, get your vitamin C levels checked, because if you have high cholesterol, I can almost guarantee your vitamin C is going to be critically low.
We see the growth in height and the people who have immigrated into the United States a couple of generations. And their children are taller and taller and taller, and it's not. I don't think it's a genetic thing. It's just a better nutrition thing. And you'll see in my business, I have families come in that are Hispanic, and the parents will be fairly short. Their children will be at least a foot or more taller than them.
Mm-hmm.
They're children, so we haven't had time for a big genetic mix going on. And it's about nutrition. So I don't doubt that you're taller than your family. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anybody else got anything to say? We've been going a pretty good while now. So
yeah, it's what,
Cristi?
8:30 for you guys over there, ain't it?
It is 9:30 where I'm at.
We're at 8:30. I have my glasses on.
It's 9:30 on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're 7:36 here in West Texas.
I think we have every time zone on the screen.
St. Cristi?
Well, there was a question earlier about why don't carnivores eat chicken? So I'm just going to shout out Rick, who's down in the square below me, because Heart Attack Chicken is some of the best chicken this carnivore girl has ever eaten. It's super good.
I ate chicken tonight.
Yes. So I saw that question and I wanted to make sure. So, and that's also my son loves the Heart Attack chicken, which is just basically chicken thighs fried in either beef tallow or lard. Sometimes I'll use the leftover bacon fat too. And it's just delicious. So some of us carnivores do eat chicken.
Ain't cheap. I bought a 10-pound bag of chicken thighs for less than $9.
It works for
pounds?
iguana too.
Huh?
You can cook iguana the same way.
I won't cook my pets.
I'd eat it. I'll eat iguana with you, but I'm not going to kill it. You have to kill it, Rick, and cook it. and
I'll
eat
try
with
it too. I'll try it too.
Oh, I will too.
Hey,
Is
hey.
what's making it?
Catch it first.
Yeah, you gotta catch it first.
Are we all going to Hack Your Health? Maybe we can cook some iguana in the VRBO.
Yeah. Yes. At the KMT Airbnb. Rick, you have to kill like 12 iguana.
I got an iguana today. I got one yesterday. I mean, I was just walking along. There it was.
Rick, can you
Yeah.
get those on the train? Are you taking a train to Hack Your Health? Do you think you can take the iguanas on the train?
I'll probably take my truck.
I want them alive.
I'll get my truck around. Hopefully by then.
Just
I don't even
call
know if
it
I'm
an
gonna
emotional
go.
support
You ever heard of
iguana.
snakes on a plane?
I think it has to be.
Iguanas on a train.
You mean a bus?
Get like a little cat.
Put a
carrier.
collar and a harness on it and call it an
therapy
emotional
pet.
working iguana.
No, a therapy pet.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, when I move to a rural area, we're going to have meetups at my place. It'll be like Kilts, but the poor man's version.
Or we invite Kilts and he makes it Kilts version.
We'll have the regular beef. Then you can go and catch your own iguana and duck or whatever else, parking lot chicken, whatever you want. Pigeons, squirrels.
Dumpster beef.
No, I don't eat anything with toes.
Dumpster pork.
You know,
Except
they're
for
always
birds.
the squirrels are always trying to eat my avocados. My friends love avocados and they get all chewed up. So I go there and shoot them and I'll cook them up. They're delicious.
When I lived in Hawaii, we had an avocado tree in our backyard, and the avocados were this freaking big. They were twice the size of softballs. They were monstrous. Here I am in El Paso, Texas now. I can't find a good avocado to save my friggin' life.
You won't. You won't. Though.
Those are probably choquettes. Those are good avocados.
Well, the giant ones in Hawaii, oh yeah, they were good.
The Russells are longer. They're like pear-shaped. The choquettes, they're like almost like footballs.
Yeah, that's the ones. They were gigantic.
That's a
And
choquette.
the little
I
ones
miss
that fell out of the
avocado.
tree would destroy a lawnmower blade.
I'll put a dent in the shed roof.
I miss avocados.
I do too.
I love guacamole. I love just to eat
I do too.
avocados. But
I hate avocados. They're disgusting. They make me throw up.
I love
But
them, but I'm not eating them right now.
I like grafting fruit trees. I give them to my friends. I taught all my friends how to garden, how to grow tomatoes. And I mean, the only vegetable that I eat occasionally is cabbage because I turn it into sauerkraut, and I ferment tomatoes and I ferment onions. And, you know, I do some fermented sauces because when they
You're
want
one
to
of the
come
lucky
together.
people that can eat fermented food. If I eat fermented anything, I immediately break out in itches and rashes, and it just drives me nuts. My
Wow.
gut can't handle fermented food.
I can't eat raw vegetables. They make me sick. I get diarrhea and headaches, but I can eat certain vegetables fermented. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Lucky dog, because I love sauerkraut and I can't eat it.
We're all different. We're all different. You know.
Yeah.
We're
I have
all
a
different.
carnivore confession.
Okay.
I can't eat meat on Fridays right now because of religious reasons, right?
Catholic.
Because of
I'm
that.
doing sardines
Well,
on Friday.
B and I
So,
we follow the Hebrew thing, so we don't eat a lot of the stuff that you guys eat, the pork and stuff. We can't.
So on Friday,
Ultra.
I went out to lunch with some friends, as I usually do on Fridays. And I ordered, and cheese. I'm trying to restrict cheese, but when you can't have meat on Fridays, there's not a lot you can eat. So I had an omelet with cheese, and I did get some avocado in it because I just needed something.
You gotta have
like-
something. Yeah.
What?
I don't think it's
like-
wrong.
You're
I haven't
fired.
had avocados since I went full-blown carnivore in July, and I used to have avocados like every day or every
I know,
other
I
day.
love
I
it.
love
Mhm.
them. I love them.
I personally, I'm just not ready for full-blown carnivore yet. I'm in school. I'm a full-time student. I lost my job with the water company because I broke a bunch of ribs. So right now I'm living with family, and B is living with me. We just can't afford to go full-blown carnivore. So luckily my family is providing me with like a lot of eggs and big blocks of
I
cheese
love that.
and fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a gigantic mouse.
Andy,
So
can you have fish? I'm not
Yes.
putting you on the spot. You're Catholic,
Yes.
I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can have
And
fish on Fridays. Yeah.
I have for dinner every week I have salmon in butter.
Yeah.
And then I take some
That's
butter
good,
and put
right?
it in a pan and put some shrimp in there.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of maybe sometimes salt or garlic salt. I use the Redmond's organic seasoned salt, right? Because it's not pure carnivore, but I don't think it's the worst thing that you could do. And I salt the shrimp in the pan of butter, and then we air fry some salmon in some more butter in the air fryer, and it's delicious. And I'm adding fat to it.
Are you allowed to have chicken? Is that part of the fast?
No,
You
cannot
can't
have
have
chicken. Seafood or eggs.
Okay.
But honestly, like
How
I
is it
could,
you can have eggs because that's technically chicken too.
yeah.
I'm
No.
chicken pieces.
I
Yeah.
know it's weird, but that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget the first year I went keto. I thought I was doing something brilliant, right? And I missed the fish fries. Like they have the breaded fish on Fridays during Lent. So
Right.
I thought, well, I'll just coat this fish in pork rinds. Pork is meat.
Wah, wah, wah.
I wonder if you could fry that fish the fish and maybe duck fat and get it good and crispy without breading it.
I asked my
Hard.
priest if I could have bacon, like if I could at least use bacon grease. It's weird. I don't understand. We're allowed to have like chicken broth. We're allowed to have broths, right? And soups and stuff. But we just can't have the actual meat. Lewis, I know what's the face for, Lewis.
No,
Hey, I'm
you
where
can
he's
have-
at.
you can
I'm
have-
where
you
he's
can
at.
You can have broth?
You can have chicken broth. Yes, I asked.
All these silly rules.
Yeah.
You
just
can have
sardines.
broth.
Just have
It's-
sardines.
You just
Well, I don't think it's a silly rule. I think it's trying to get people more serious about the season they're in. And there's no gun at your head, is there, Amy?
No. And honestly, I really wanted to, and I think Lewis, you're doing this. I really wanted, for religious reasons, to just fast all day on Friday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my medical issues right now with this thyroid thing going up and down and just stress of life, it's like I just can't.
Yeah, I'm doing
like-
sardines. I'm doing sardines on Fridays only, and then I do my regular fast on Mondays, not related to Lent, just.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just in general.
But my Friday
So-
sardines is Lent related.
Yeah, so next year, if I get all of this hormone crap that I'm dealing with, which it sucks. I'm just gonna say that being a 50-year-old woman sucks. There's no better
Being a
way.
50-year-old
Cristi-
anything sucks.
Yeah, Cristi is like
the
my
Yes, I'm
girl.
a 50-year-old woman. I second that in some ways. I'm right there with you with the hormone issues.
You know the
And
restrictions.
She's fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, but next year, if I can get to the point where this whatever roller coaster I'm on, I would love to during Lent for religious reasons more than health reasons, not eat on Fridays at all.
Yeah. And hopefully you'll get there. It's all right. Yeah, you will. Anybody else got anything to say?
I'll just say thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It
You're,
was
you're
great to
welcome.
meet you.
Come back anytime.
Yeah,
Good to see
absolutely.
you, Todd.
Yeah, good to see you, Thomas. Good to see you, Lewis.
I say whosoever will shall come on, and let's just have a good talk, be friendly with each other, and maybe even disagree. That's okay too, as long as we do it respectfully.
Yep,
The
civilly.
world is full of people that just think that they can be rude, and it's not good for the world. It's not.
I'm only rude to the drug company, so I'll
Yeah, I
give you
can't
fair
stand
warning.
them. I can't stand them.
I do want to say thanks to Lena Pisick in chat, who is picking up my
Yes,
slack
she's
while I'm in here in the voice chat with you guys. Because she's been doing a good job of monitoring the chat and making sure everybody stays respectful. And I've been in here slacking, not doing my job. I've been in here talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And
It's a
so I
shame
want to
we
say
have-
thank you, Lena. You're doing a
It's
great
shame
job.
we have to do anything like that. It's actually a shame that grown people can't act grown.
No, they say we got to grow old, but we never got to grow up.
It's the internet. It's the internet.
Yeah.
So we've got, let's see, Cristi's new to the thing today, and Lewis, you were on the first one, right?
First one, yeah.
Yeah. And Todd's new, and Jim's new, and I want to welcome you guys. Come back. Let's talk more. Especially want to hear about your product, both you, Jim, and Todd's progress as you reduce. And if you got problems, listen, this is the truth. I had a few problems at first when I started back this time because I had forgot about the keto flu. I just thought, well, I know everything. What do I need to do? And then I got into the leg problems too. I had cramps and all kinds of issues like that. Then I thought, oh, hey, dummy, there's a very easy cure for most of this, very easy fix, which I fixed it in one day. Now, you may have a different issue, but, sometimes we just need somebody to say, hey, you just say what you got going on, and somebody's going to know the answer to help you out, for sure. And they'll get you through it,
That's the beautiful thing about these open forums.
Yeah.
When you have so many people with so much different diverse experience in life and dealing with all these things from different angles, there's going to be a lot of information to be shared.
Yeah.
Everybody has something different to bring to the table, and it's all helpful.
Yeah. For somebody.
And we need to thank you, Bob, for giving us a forum to do it. Thank you.
That's, the only thing I ever wanted to do on this thing when I made Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off that many years ago, I was just and still am a working class guy. I own a little business, but it's nothing to write home about. I was just a working class guy, a guy that worked in a factory for years and years. I didn't have a lot of money. Nobody pays attention to guys like me or girls like me. Nobody, you're just dirt under their fingernails. So I just thought, this worked for me. How in the world could I make this so that the average person could understand it? Because nobody tries to do anything for those kind of people. They make it so complex that they just, their eyes glaze over as soon as they start talking. So, that was the purpose of that video.
A hard thing for those people is a lot of them end up getting tangled up in the medical industry before they find your video. Yeah.
They want to get you on 4 or 5 pills, and
And by then you're already half dead and going downhill.
Oh, it cures one thing and causes the need for 2 or 3 more things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let it go unless somebody's got something real good to say at the end.
No, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody that came on the panel.
All right.
Thank you, everybody in the chats. I'll go back and read the chat as soon as I'm able. Before I go, the next couple months, probably, I'm going to do the live chats, live stream. But I'm going into a very busy season for my business. If I don't read every comment and say don't worry, I will. I'll get to them.
Mhm.
But it's going to be pretty busy. Thank you all.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye
Good night,
bye,
everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Appreciate it, guys.
Stream off.
Good night. Thank you, Bob.
Well, we're still live.
now-
Right.
Thank you, Bob, for inviting me.